The night bus from Mokokchung to Dimapur never leaves on time. People complain every trip, yet still arrive early. Bags lined up, shawls wrapped tight, watching the bus conductors shout instructions that nobody listens to. He stood a little apart from the crowd, leaning against a metal pole, waiting for boarding to start. The ground was still damp from evening rain, and the air smelled of wet earth and petrol. A few street dogs slept near the tires, ignoring everything. She arrived with a small suitcase, struggling slightly as the wheels stuck between the loose stones on the pavement. She wasn't dressed like someone used to long travels. Her jacket was too thin for a night trip. She scanned the depot like someone figuring out where to stand for the first time. When the bus finally opened its doors, people rushed forward. He ended up at the window seat, the one with the usual loose frame and scratched glass. She got the seat beside him because it was the only one left. They didn't speak. Once the bus started moving and Mokokchung lights faded behind them, the real problem showed up. The window wouldn't close properly. At first it rattled, a faint metallic vibration that matched every bump on the road. Then came the water. Thin, cold droplets started sneaking through the crack whenever the bus turned left. First it was random. Then the rain picked up outside and the dripping became steady, hitting his shoulder and arm. He tried pushing the window shut, but the frame was loose, old and stubborn. It didn't budge. After a few minutes he stopped trying and just endured it. She noticed. Without saying anything, she pulled out a folded shawl, twisted it, and stuffed it into the narrow gap where the water was coming in. She had to lean slightly over him to reach the corner. The dripping slowed, then stopped. The rattling softened too. She sat back, wiped her hands on her jacket, and simply said, "It was getting noisy." It wasn't a sweet moment. It wasn't romantic. It was just practical. Human. The bus continued down the winding highway. Most people were asleep or pretending to be. The only sounds were the engine, the occasional horn, and the faint vibrations of the patched-up window. A couple hours later, the bus stopped at the usual late-night break stop, a tiny, dimly lit tea stall by the road. No noodles. No snacks. Just tea served in old glass cups. He got down to stretch his legs. She returned from the counter carrying 2 cups. She offered him one. "You'll feel warmer," she said quietly. He accepted it. The tea wasn't good, watery, too sweet, but it felt comforting in the night air. They didn't talk much. They didn't need to. Back on the bus they said a few things about travel, about how NST buses always have one broken window, about how Dimapur mornings are always loud. They didn't share life stories. They didn't ask personal questions. Just conversation between 2 people sharing a cold, uncomfortable journey. Hours passed. People shifted in their seats. The patched shawl held the window quiet for most of the ride, only rattling occasionally when the road turned rough. As the bus finally crossed into Dimapur, the sky was beginning to lighten. Dawn always makes the city look busier than it really is. Autos honking, vendors setting up early, the sound of luggage thudding against metal. When the bus stopped at the station, everyone rushed to get down. He grabbed his bag. She grabbed her suitcase. They stood together for a few seconds, awkward but calm. She said, "Safe travels." He answered, "You too." And that was it. No numbers exchanged. No promises. No lingering looks. Just 2 strangers who shared a window, a cup of tea, and a few hours of quiet understanding. They walked in opposite directions and disappeared into the Dimapur noise. Months passed. Life continued as it always does. Then one hot afternoon, completely by accident, he saw her again, standing near a vegetable vendor comparing tomatoes. No dramatic music. No rush. No surprise. She noticed him at the same time. A simple hi. A simple hey. A small smile. A small pause. Then she picked up her bag and said, "Okay, bye." He nodded. "Bye." And she walked away. No turning back. No second meeting. No story after the story. Just a reminder that not every connection becomes a love story. Some are simply moments, quiet, temporary and honest, shared between 2 strangers on a long road from Mokokchung to Dimapur.
That's it for today's story. Thank you for being here. If this story touched you, like, share, or just leave a kind word below. And if you have a story on your own, you can DM me on Instagram at truetoldstories. With love, this is True Told Stories. See you again soon.